I'm an idiot. I'm not a handyman, but I own a house, so I have to be a handyman. I'm the idiot handyman, which means if I can do it, you can do it too. So, what do you do when you wake up in the morning and you have a plumbing issue with your heat? That's what we're going to talk about today. You don't always have to call a plumber, and it doesn't always have to be as expensive and as complicated as it looks. Thanks to SharkBite Plumbing, this is going to be cake. What we need to do today is cut 2 pieces of 1-inch copper pipe, another piece of 3/4 inch. We have a SharkBite coupling, or not a coupling, see, I'm an idiot. We have a SharkBite T that we're going to use to replace this so that there will be no soldering whatsoever. We'll lock them in like this, and then we have 2 1-inch couplings that we will lock in like this. No plumber, we're talking 40 minutes. Make sure you turn off the power to your furnace, whether it be at your main fuse box or if you have a separate box for it. Make sure that the water intake to your furnace is turned off. You'll need to drain the boiler of your furnace, so you'll need to hook up a hose, know where your spigot is, turn it on, and drain that boiler. Well, we turned off our main water anyway from our well that goes to our beautiful new bladder tank. But let's talk about the tools that you'll need to do this. All you're really going to need to accomplish this is a pipe cutter. If you're using copper pipe, you're going to need a copper pipe cutter. Some people prefer the other kind. I like this because I'm an idiot and I understand how this works. Or CPVC, you're going to need a PVC cutter like this. These are cheap. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever else. And a tape measure. And you can never have too many of these because I guarantee when you put it down, you won't be able to find it until the next project. It also helps to have a beautiful assistant around. Back to the piece that I cut off. Obviously the pipe's running this way, this goes up into the ceiling. I cut the pipe here and here and here. So what I will have to do is very simple. I will need to cut my 2 1-inch pieces, cut my 3/4 piece. They will lock into the SharkBite piece. I'll have a SharkBite here, a SharkBite here, a SharkBite here. It's cut and attach. Very simple, even for mathematically challenged people like me. So, this is my 1-inch copper pipe that I'll be cutting down to a much smaller size. This is the 3/4. This is the 1-inch SharkBite for one end of the pipe. This is the 1-inch SharkBite for the other end of the pipe, because remember, we're going to need one here and one here. This part will go into here, so for that, we have, for the midsection, we have a SharkBite, 1-inch, 1-inch, 3/4 on top, and then for this pipe, to connect it to the existing pipe, the 3/4 inch SharkBite fitting. Cake. What we want to do is dry fit our pipes before we install them so that we make sure that it goes together the way we want it, that the measurements look good, and then we can just kind of hold it up and make sure it looks good and then begin our, what am I talking about? Let's just do it. One thing to mention, the SharkBites are great because it cuts out all the kind of typical handyman nonsense like soldering, gluing. However, once you snap those babies in, they're tough to get off. Make sure that you get the removing tools, because once you dry fit, you're going to want to pull those back off, or if you have to pull them back off, you have the tools. The tools are cake to work, and I'll show that to you in a little bit after we dry fit. First thing we got to do, we're going to have the tape measure. here's my question. I suck at math. I'm mathematically challenged, so I always have to have a mathematical genius with me to help me measure. So here's my question. How do I want to do this? This is my mathematical genius. So, discuss measurements.
Okay, I'm trying to remember what we did the last time that we did this and how we measured.
Successfully, by the way.
How we measured what we needed first when we dry fitted it.
This is what I'm thinking.
Because we have to account for how much of the pipe needs to go into the fitting first.
So here.
Will it be the same as what is inside, what fits inside this piece? Is it the same?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's.
Well,
I guess we keep this out of that.
let me ask you this.
Should I?
Let me ask you this. If I measure this, right, and then add a ½ inch on for going into the fittings.
The 1/4 inch in here and the 1/4 inch in that one.
Right, that's what I'm
Should
asking.
be accurate.
That's
yeah.
almost a perfect 2 1/2, 2 1/4.
Right.
So 2 3/4 is what we're probably going to want to cut from this. Let me show.
Write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Let me show everybody what I did here. Now again, are there better ways to do this? I'm sure there are, but you clicked on this. So this is what you get. As you can see, I'm measuring where that pipe comes out of the T. I have to compensate because a 1/4 inch of pipe will be used to go into here and to go into the fitting that will be here. That means whatever I measure, I'm going to add a ½ inch onto before I cut it. This cutting tool locks onto the pipe, and then we spin it around until it cuts the pipe. I made my measurement with my marker, so I want to make sure that the blade of the cutting tool is right, even, or on that mark I made with the marker. And it is. So, once I get that to where I want to, I start to close the cutting tool. Like so. Now that it's on there, I want to make it very tight as I can, and to try and keep it even, so that that blade digs into the pipe. Once I've gotten it about as tight as I can possibly do it, I will begin to spin the pipe in the cutter to make the cut. Now I don't know if you can see, but there is a line there now. You can see the cut being made as I spin. I want to spin that a few times. And when it feels like it's getting easy to spin, I'm going to tighten this up again. And I can. So if you can, that's when you start to tighten. A little more spinning on this. And there it is. Voila. Okay. What I will be doing with that piece is it will be going into, well, it's this piece. Now note, once I slip this in here, that's going to be on there tight. You want to make sure it catches. There it is. Now you heard it. There it is. This is our dry fitted piece that we worked out in the kitchen, and it's going to go right up in here. So we're going to actually try and connect it while it's dry fit. We may not even have to take this back apart. To give our viewers some perspective, this is where the pipe goes up into the ceiling and out of the floor. This is actually part of our heat. So the part that I'm pushing up on from downstairs is to connect it there. And because there's so much room to play there, and because there's so much wiggle room with the pipe, my mathematical genius assistant here, Jennifer, is going to hold the pipe down for me in place so that I can push up on it and snap in the piece that needs to be snapped in. Are you ready, my lovely assistant?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, hold on a second. This is gonna be tricky. All right, so you got it? All right, you're holding it tight? Okay. Ready? Push. Okay. I know, be careful. Okay, it fits. Stop. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, you know what you should have done?
What?
Oh, maybe that one helped. Put this one in first, that one in second.
Well, here's the thing. I couldn't. You can see right. Show them where we're having the trouble, honey.
Right here.
So right here. No. That's
Yeah, because we
fine.
can't push it over.
Yeah. But I mean,
Push
that's
this in.
that's the piece that we can't get on right now, right there.
Because of this.
Now notice we hooked everything else up. It's all up dry fitted. We just have that one minor problem. And while that might look like a problem, that is nothing compared to getting into soldering and all that other stuff. This is the way to go, kids, if you can do it. What I'm going to do, and this is eyeballing it, which any good handyman will tell you, never do this. What we're going to do is we're going to cut maybe a 1/4 inch off of this pipe, because we have play with the pipe to move it this way, and that will solve our small dilemma here, theoretically. So in retrospect, there is what we replaced from what needed to be replaced.
He's been with the world. I'm tired of the soup du jour. He's been with the world. Wanna end this prophylactic tour. Afraid that no one around here.
But you're kind of like a spaceman, huh?
No, actually, I'm a plumber. On the side. Look.
Well, listen, I got a little piece of pipe backstage I'd like to have you work on.
Tell me about it.